Welcome to Pod Me If You Can TV. I'm David Farrell.
And I'm Lloyd Hughes.
And here on Pod Me If You Can TV, we find obscure titles with your favourite stars and we discuss them. Lloyd, what is today's film?
I got this from the Reject Shop. It's called Air Force 2, and I thought it was a sequel to Air Force 1. And actually, I just found this out actually from researching this. Air Force 2, and actually watching the film, Air Force 2 actually refers to the airplane that carries the Vice President. So Air Force 1 carries the President of the United States, and Air Force 2 carries the Vice President of the United States. I did not know that. So it isn't actually a sequel to the Harrison Ford film that came out, I think, in the late 90s or the early noughties. And this film is really bad, man. It's terrible. It is so cheap. It is... I struggled to get through this film. It's described as Rambo, but with a chick, if that makes sense. Like, I got a loose plot outline here. When the Vice President's plane goes down near a remote Pacific island, he is kidnapped by rebel forces and held for ransom. It is up to his female Secret Service agent and a press secretary to infiltrate the camp and save him.
Okay.
Geez, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's all B-grade actors. It stars Mariel Hemingway. I'm not sure if you've heard of her. She's been in a lot of B-grade sort of movies. She's sort of like a tough action girl. And David Keith, he's actually been in Hawaiian Five-0, CSI Miami. I think he was in Daredevil, played loose roles. He's mainly a B-grade sort of actor. And New Zealand star Robbie Magasilva, I think if I'm pronouncing his name, or Magasiva. The action scenes are done okay. Like, I think it was done by a second unit. And they cut really close to the action, which is great. Like, the one rule of thumb when you do low-budget action movies is if you don't have the budget for a full shot, just cut to close-up. So when people get shot, they punch in really close. And some of those some of those action scenes were pretty cool. And it just made me think, what if Robert Rodriguez was directing something like this and given the same amount of money? I think he'd do a fantastic job. Because I look on Wikipedia... This movie was made for an estimated budget of $1.3 million, right?
Seriously?
Yeah, and it grossed $884 at the box office. I think that
doesn't sound right.
Now, it's interesting. I had to look this up because it wasn't implicit in the movie. Well, at least I didn't notice. But the director, Brian Trenchard-Smith, who actually did BMX Bandits.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's done a lot of Australian movies. He's actually British. He says... It's a lesbian Rambo movie, a homage to 80s gun porn starring Mariel Hemingway as the Vice President's sapphic secret agent's chief. This future Vice President, played by David Keith in a utopian Washington where universal health care is passed by unanimous vote, actively encourages the seduction of one lesbian by another. You're a Marine, go for it. I hope someone sent a copy to the Cheney family. Both films are gay light, just a few kisses. The concept of a gay hero-heroine in the Harrison Ford role was the point. I didn't get any of that in the film at all. Like, I had to look that up, that it was a lesbian-themed action movie. I didn't see any of it.
So does the lead come off as gay?
Yeah, well, I guess that was implied. Like, I'd have thinking back on the scenes, yeah, there were a couple of moments when they were looking at each other, but I didn't see, you know, if the director's going to trumpet that as a big thing of this movie, it's an action movie, but with...
It wasn't obvious.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious at all. Like, I was just like, really? Yeah, but it's bad. It's really hard to get through. Very cheap movie. Like, when the plane goes down at the very beginning, the special effects were horrible. There's a lot of explosions with obviously plugins, you know what I mean? Drop and drag in After Effects, where you just have fires and gunshots. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I struggle to get through this.
Is there a great tacky line like "Get off my plane"?
There are so many tacky lines. I'm struggling to remember them. Yeah.
All right. So, like, is this better than the last one you saw?
No way. The last one I saw was that Jennifer Love Hewitt movie, and
telling you,
yeah, and telling you just had better themes that I could relate to. This one, it was a Rambo movie, and it was actually made in 2006. It looks like it was made, like, I know it was shot in video and everything, but it looks like it was made, I don't know, in the early 90s, and it was really low budget. It just looks terrible.
Outstanding. Whenever I watch the TV show Sliders,
yeah,
with Jerry O'Connell, The effects look terrible by today's standards, but I remember how good they must have looked then to me, you know? So I'm guessing it's kind of like that, but it doesn't feel like 2006, huh?
No, it didn't feel like 2006 at all. It just felt like, you know, amateur drop and drag special effect plugins that you get standard with your software you get from, I don't know, Avid or something. It's really bad.
All right. Find more of us at www.podmeifyoucan.com.